Season 2 of Major League Pickleball is living up to the hype, and the 48 best players in the world have put their heroics on full display here in Atlanta. Michelle McMahon alongside Cameron Irwin. Dominic Catalano will be joining us from the sideline. You are watching the premier level pool play matchup between the Atlanta Bouncers and Orlando Squeeze. Atlanta comes into this matchup 0-1 so far in pool play. Orlando 1-0, opposite records. This is Group A. Knockout rounds begin tomorrow. A lot at stake for these players, and we will have men's doubles coming out here first. So when it comes to the complexity of both teams, 57% win percentage on the side of the Orlando Squeeze. Let's talk men's doubles first, Cameron. What do you like the most about Andre Deascu with Zane Navratil in this matchup against Hunter Johnson and Pablo Tellez?
Well, I think the first thing that comes to mind is Andre Deascu, and just in terms of his size, he can really dictate in terms of up at the kitchen line. You have to be wary of his ability to not only attack, but also counterattack. He's improved significantly throughout the last year, so it's also fun to watch him now continue to level up his game. Zane Navratil is also one of the best to hit the pickleball court. Just an absolute talent, has so much spin and pace to his play, so watch out for that duo. It's going to be interesting to see the right versus left side in terms of how they shape this one. But on the other side, for the Atlanta Bouncers, it's Hunter Johnson and Pablo Tellez. One of the great things about Pablo Tellez is he's a lefty, so you're going to see Hunter Johnson playing that right side, just has a nasty forehand, so watch out for that. I imagine for the Atlanta Bouncers, there could be a lot of driving and crashing in, so watch out for that in this men's doubles matchup.
Yeah, you mentioned the lefty of Pablo Tellez. Ben Johns has said that that is the future of pickleball, when you can find a teammate that's a lefty, keep forehands in the middle. That certainly changes the complexity of the matchup. Dominic Catalano giving us the scoop on the toss. Orlando won the toss. They chose to react, and so Atlanta opted to put their women's team out first. So we jumped the gun a little bit. It is not men's doubles going out first. I apologize. That was an assumption from them warming up, but we will go to the women's. Why not? Let's just profile all the players. We will be seeing all of them at some point on championship court. So Anna Bright and Rachel Rohrabacher. Rohrabacher was the talk of the town in Major League Pickleball. She's in the top left side of your screen here. Warming up with Anna Bright there. We have the win percentage, a perfect 50-50 split, as one would have it. Paris Todd, a two-time MLP champ, and Simone Jardim will take the stage front and center. So let's talk Rachel Rohrabacher first. We know the known entities of Anna Bright, Paris Todd, and of course the GOAT, Simone Jardim. Rachel Rohrabacher snuck into the premier as an unknown entity. And Anna Bright says she has a bright future ahead, pun intended. Fourth round selection. What do you like about Orlando?
Well, Rachel Rohrabacher out of the University of South Carolina comes from a great tennis background. They were SEC champs, and so she comes with not only experience on the pickleball court now, but experience with a paddle or racket in her hand. One of the things I've loved from watching her is just the amount of pace that she can play with. She shows great composure, and she's also got a great partner that she's going to look to set up. That's Anna Bright, who's going to be very aggressive. Watch for her court movement, and really Rohrabacher's job here is to be the setup. How many assists can she really come up with for Anna Bright is the question. But on the other side of the net is the Atlanta Bouncers. Simone Jardim, which you've mentioned, is an absolute GOAT. But you also have to deal with Paris Todd. These two have spent a significant amount of time playing alongside one another, so that's definitely going to help. Simone Jardim has completely shaped the game of pickleball. She was one of the all-time greats in terms of coming up with unique and creative ideas of how to approach this, and she's also the epitome of consistency. And on the other side, for Anna Bright, we talked about her athleticism. Paris Todd is the counterpart to that. She is freakishly athletic, utilizes so much spin in her game, whether it's slicing a ball or finding backs or top spin on the backhand side. Just a wicked amount of pace can come off of her paddle.
And it's interesting on the side of the Orlando Squeeze. Chatted with Rachel Rohrabacher just briefly heading into this first MLP, and I asked her, how does she manage the nerves? We've all been out there, maybe not in this situation, but it is so nerve-wracking when you're playing for a team. All the pressure on you, all the eyeballs on you. You're the fourth round selection that is supposed to make or break your team. She said, I love being in those moments, the pressure-filled moments. She said, when it came to mix, I wanted to be out there. I wanted them to hit every ball to me. So you love the competitive spirit, as you mentioned.
Well, so definitely a make or break moment, right? We saw Allison Harris, who filled in for Mary Brasha earlier today for the Miami Pickleball Club. It's a make or break. She's an alternate. She wasn't even playing at the challenger level, and she steps in and was lights out for Miami on championship court. So this is when you truly get tested. Right now, Rohrabacher, the 39th overall pick, she's going to see her fair share of balls coming her way.
Paris Todd will lead us off with the first serve to Rohrabacher. Just wide for Jargine.
And just to start, you already see the cross-court forehand roll dink battle between Todd and Rohrabacher.
Rachel Rohrabacher initially staying in there toe-to-toe with Jargine.
And I don't mind the take there. Rohrabacher just a step ahead of Anna Bright, working that two-hand backhand.
A high third from Paris Todd. Rachel Rohrabacher takes full advantage. Serve a point back to their side.
Yeah, and I love the redirect. Back down the line, the quickest point, and Jargine on the backhand side.
Sign out. Point two.
Two-hand backhand from Anna Bright. That's actually one of her best strokes, is on that backhand side. Watch her to start to get into a rhythm there.
That's a big put away from Anna Bright.
A tough ball, actually, because on that side right now, you're staring directly into the sun. It's been absolutely perfect conditions to this point. It's definitely increased the temp about 10 degrees or so in the last hour.
Sure has. Jargine packs a powerful punch.
More importantly, she packs a low punch. That second ball for Jargine, she puts the ball down at the feet, high about shoulder height, and then sends that ball down. Great trajectory.
Wind is picking up too, something to note. Into the net for Paris Todd. Orlando will take the point.
And I really like the way Anna Bright right there, when she has the time working more to that forehand side instead of working the backhand, she really puts so much topspin on that, creating problems.
This return from Todd. Orlando takes a 2-point lead.
5-3.
Back for Anna Bright. This one's gone back and forth. You can tell some nerves are still being worked out for some of these players. Wind, rather, mixed in there as well. Paris Todd.
4-5.
The first round draft pick for Atlanta is the server. Denied.
And Paris had a significant input in terms of putting this team together, and it's not surprising as you see Simone, her typical women's doubles partner, along with Holly Townsend, who she spends most of the time with on the mixed doubles court. So if this team has one thing, not only are they athletic and talented, but they also have a ton of experience with one another.
And they opted to go girl in their draft order, whereas Orlando went girl, guy, guy, girl. So different strategies across the board. Paris Todd told us this week it was 5 seconds left on the board before Leanne GM selected Jargine. She was getting a whole slew of opinions.
Well, that's the hard part. You always kind of look to that first round pick that you have, and you say, how do you want to shape this team around him? Danny Warfel on the Heisman Trophy winner, University of Florida.
Big finish for Rachel Rohrabacher, earning her keep at the premier level.
I love this. Instead of letting that ball bounce, chasing it, she instead decides to go with the overhead, even a little bit of a roundhouse move, but still plenty of pace.
8-5.
Anna Bright, that's the talk. That's what I'm talking about, just how dynamic she can be. I love the shake and bake for these two. Rohrabacher has the tennis background, the strokes from the baseline. Go to work and let Anna Bright put the pressure on.
Anna Bright sets herself up for the put away. Now a 5-point lead for Orlando.
Why this works? The location. You can see the extension for Paris Todd trying to protect the middle with the backhand. Beautiful location for Bright.
Just long for Bright.
I don't mind it. You can see her kind of working that shadow swing after the contact, trying to find just enough topspin. When you're at the kitchen line, you really can't take a full swing on some of these speed ups. You've got to create topspin to get that ball to fall. It's really just about between a 40 to 60% actual attack.
Nice roll from Paris Todd.
And that's what the bouncers really need right now, is the ability to let Paris Todd get more involved in this. Most of the balls have gone the direction of Georgine. Middle's causing problems.
It is, which is surprising because these two play together quite a bit, as you mentioned, Georgine and Todd. An 11-7 lead for Orlando means an end change for us in a quick timeout. Any patterns that are jumping out to you so far between both teams?
I think one of the first things that kind of jumps off the page is the amount that Simone is receiving the ball. You see Trey Young currently on screen, one of the owners for the Atlanta Bouncers.
That's right. In the house, newly acquired, rather, on the Major League Pickleball circuit. We love having him here. We love being in Atlanta. The crowd has been fantastic. You can tell the premier level players are in the house.
But to go back to your question about the patterns, to jump back to it, I think one of the things that could be interesting is if Simone maybe works a little bit more the line-to-line with Rohrabacher. I think that's a nice matchup in favor of actually Simone. What she can do in terms of having to kind of deal with some of the pace coming her direction, how much pressure can they add to Rohrabacher, and more importantly, how can they get Anna Bright less involved? And then in terms of patterns on the other side, I think for Anna Bright and Rohrabacher, what's working, obviously the shake and bake, but also utilizing Anna Bright when she gets the opportunity to really get up to the kitchen line, attack and through some of those middle balls. Right now, Rohrabacher's doing a nice job staying steady in that cross court with Paris Todd. Paris has got to either find something different. Maybe you go up the line to get yourself involved. Anna Bright going the opposite direction. But
there's the enthusiasm on full display.
There's a lot of neon in the stands, is there not?
So fun. Can't miss us. Send a sky cam over. That's good pressure from Todd and Georgine.
And that's exactly what they need. Paris Todd, she's got to start imparting her will more on this match, but in order for her to do that, she's got to see the ball.
8-11.
And a miss, a little bit of a tight return for Rohrabacher. Don't want to give away easy ones right now.
11.
Paris Todd went for the rip. She had an opening, just caught the top of the tape.
Yeah, and it was a little interesting. We talked about being aggressive. Paris actually had a chance in transition. I thought that she might go after a ball about 2 balls before the one she did. Instead, stay a little more patient. really nice speed up because it's not only cross court, but it's cross body. This is tough. You can see how Todd is loading up the two-hand backhand, which is what you typically do to cover the middle, but instead Rohrabacher finds the right hip.
Just barely missing was Bright. First fire fight, true one of the game.
Well, I like this too. They started this off by actually returning to Anna Bright. This keeps her a little bit more at bay up at the kitchen line.
Jargine, another 4-point lead for Squeeze.
And what a shot from Anna Bright, finding the right shoulder of Simone. Not much you could do there. She had to get her paddle not only up to the right, but well up by her ear.
Deep return attempt from Paris Todd, and you have to keep them deep, just inches long. Another timeout called for the Bouncers, who trail by 5, and the Orlando Squeeze fan base is a passionate one. The DeVos family owns this team, and they also own the Orlando Magic, so they know how to run a professional sports franchise. Episode with their owner on the Major League Pickleball podcast. Some good insight there as to why Anna Bright first, because the Orlando Squeeze had to trade their third pick. They had a first round third pick with who they could have had, which could have been Riley Newman. They instead opted to drop to 5, trade that pick with DC, who wanted Riley at that 3 spot. So then Anna Bright gets taken first at the 5th overall pick for Orlando. And the draft strategy is so interesting from there. Andre Daescu, a great pickup in the 2nd round, as was Zane Navratil in the 3rd. We'll see them momentarily. But as it relates to this game right now, women's doubles, what do Jargine and Todd need to do to get back in this one, you think, Cameron?
Well, I think right now they're dealing with a little bit of a wind at their back. So we've seen a few missed returns go long. So trying to keep them at bay. But really, we always talk about it. Pickleball is about limiting errors, and right now they've started to mount on the side of it, the Atlanta Bouncers. They've also switched sides. So now Paris Todd is on the left and Simone Jargine on the right side. So maybe look for Paris to create some offense through the middle on the forehand.
Why do you think that was a switch they decided to make? Mix things up, or with the way Paris is playing right now?
Maybe a little of that, but also remember what we talked about at the beginning of the game, how they were dealing with some issues through the middle of the court. So with Paris there, she's able to really get into a point and take over more of the court. Watch for her to cover maybe 60 or 70. Holy
Rohrabacher down the line. What a shot. She's a competitor.
It was like it was out of a cannon.
It's tough bounce off the tape, for sure. But that was a gutsy choice. Anna Bright applies the pressure and the biggest lead of the game so far for Orlando.
But that's why you want to return to Anna Bright, because watch the difference. If it goes to Rohrabacher, she is just crashing, or she's driving that ball from the baseline. Anna Bright's closing in. Even there, just a little bit of a miss. But if Anna Bright takes that ball in terms of the 3rd, Rohrabacher's not as aggressive to get up to the kitchen.
Ball 17.
Rohrabacher throws the hammer on Jargine, an 18-12 lead early. Trouble brewing for the Bouncers.
You know, it's so fun to watch these kind of attacks because they're seen more just within the last year of pickleball. You used to say you never speed up cross court. Well, now you speed up cross court. It just has to be to the right side of the right sider.
Orlando 2 points away from taking game 1.
19-12.
And this is where you just have to almost have blinders on. Don't pay attention to the score. The nice thing is once you do get to that 20-point mark, you have a little bit of a grace period, right, to be able to get back in it. So watch for them start to push in.
Atlanta steals that one.
You want to talk about momentum turners. It's points like these that can be the biggest difference maker. So don't forget this one if you're the Atlanta Bouncers. Now at 14-9, could that be the difference maker? A little more confidence on their side.
Oh, Georgina's down, couldn't recover in time. Anna Bright and Rachel Rohrabacher take game point on their side.
I'm really impressed. The forehand power of Rohrabacher has really been a difference maker in this matchup.
Yeah, you're right. I think she'd drop to the 4th round after this. That's for sure. She's been impressive. What a finishing touch from Anna Bright, who closes out game 1 with a roll down the middle. Rachel Rohrabacher, welcome to Major League Pickleball.
Rohrabacher stepped up to the challenge and performed beautifully. Really impressed with her ability to not only set up her partner, but attack cross court with great success. Also, how many errors did she have? I can only think in my head maybe 1 to 2, 1 from the baseline in terms of drives.
Well, she was Anna Bright's choice when it came to female partners in the 4th round, and that has proven to be fruitful as we check in now with the 3rd member of our crew, Dominic Catalano, standing by with Rohrabacher and Anna Bright.
All right, I'm courtside with Anna Bright, Rachel Rohrabacher, and I'll start with you. How important is it for you? ATL's got the home court advantage here. How important is it for you guys to step up and take that first victory here?
No, it's so important. I think the first match of the overall team match really sets the tone. And you know, I want to say thank you to everyone for turning out today. You know, even all the Atlanta Bouncers fans. You know, I see you guys, I hear you guys. It's great. It's just great to have a nice rowdy atmosphere. But I gotta say, we've got such a great squeeze cheering section. We could be in Orlando right now.
And then Rachel, playing next to Anna Bright. I know you like to play with pace. How more comfortable are you playing next to her knowing she's got your back?
Oh my gosh, so much more comfortable. And I think that like just having her as a support on my side has been teaching me so much. And it's been really beneficial for my game just in 2 matches. So I'm really grateful for her. And the support of even Zane and Andre, like their experience as well on the side has helped so much. So I feel like I'm learning a lot and excited for the next few matches.
All right, the Orlando Squeeze go up 1-0. We'll see what the men have on the other side of this break.
Dulce Vida, you are what you drink.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball.
My first surgery was a total knee replacement. I ended up with an infection. They were gonna have to amputate my leg. That just was not okay with me. The moment I entered HSS, the care was exceptional. For somebody to tell me you're gonna keep your leg, it was magical. Everything is so alive because I got my life back.
Back on championship court, we progress on to the men's doubles portion of the match. A 56% win percentage in favor of the bouncers. Deescu and Navratil make up that team, taking on Pablo Tellez and Hunter Johnson. We teased it slightly in the open. What else should we know about this matchup?
You know, this percentage, in my opinion, it is obviously very lopsided, but I don't know if it's quite that lopsided. This will be really interesting, and I think the big X factor here is Hunter Johnson.
Yeah.
What is he going to do on that left side in terms of creating some offense? And Pablo Tellez, we've seen him time and time again and what he's been able to create as a lefty. He has a great inside-out ball that goes across court, and he also can create up the line. So again, the X factor for me is going to be Hunter Johnson here. Deescu just so long up at the kitchen line, so they're going to have to be careful with some of the dinks in and around his zone.
Feels more like a must-win situation for Atlanta in this matchup than Orlando when it comes to taking the pressure off and mixed doubles.
Net adjustment.
All right, warming us up early. Pablo Tellez was in the challenger level last year, picked up in the 3rd round. That was a good pickup for Atlanta for him to still be available at that slot. Hunter Johnson, the 4th round draft pick, 46, as you mentioned. Spent some time at premier level with as a sub. Get to that in a moment. Big return early for Orlando. Man, they have a thick fan base here. They have crowd, fans everywhere.
They look like they're all hunting. So again, going back, it's clear Hunter Johnson, you can kind of watch him start to create space, working to that forehand, even though he's on the backhand side. That's how you can not only create offense, but also a lot of deception in your game.
There's that lefty flick down the middle. What a play from Tellez, deceptive.
And this is what you love about Pablo Tellez. Watch this. He actually works the backhand right here as he goes across for the Ernie, but he's very athletic, very nimble off the edge. He's going to try and add pressure when he can.
A lot of patience on the side of Orlando.
3-1.
What a shot from Tellez down the line.
Watch this footwork from Tellez, same thing. Step and a half, opening up the forehand, holds it, and that puts Deescu in just such a predicament in terms of trying to set up his defense.
And a miss there. 1 step forward, a couple steps back. Zane Navratil will take his team back to serve. Lob taken advantage of by Hunter Johnson.
And it was a defensive lob. Zane Navratil put in somewhat of a box there, and it's because of the deception from Pablo Tellez. He holds that, and again, rolling that along the cross court. And there's the length of Deescu. You're wondering when you would start to see it. He goes a little bit full flamingo here and gets a nice shot.
Former tennis pro, Deescu. What a point from Hunter Johnson. Tellez cleans it up.
Yeah, and there was actually a shot in the middle of this for Hunter Johnson where I thought he could have maybe attacked just a bit earlier, but instead goes with the more calculated approach, taking some pace off and working through the hands battle.
4-5. Point.
I wonder if the Atlanta Bouncers might be able to get themselves at a point of advantage if they go to the backhand side of Daescu and maybe Hunter Johnson closing in quick to find the middle. If they get Daescu crossing over on the exterior of the court using that cross step, just because his body's so long, it takes him an extra second to come back and cover middle.
Roll opportunity from Navratil, and a nice little run here for Atlanta, recovering quite the lead.
7-5.
Been a lot of testing the middle. If you've watched it for the Orlando squeeze, most, I would say probably about between 50 to 70% of the dinks have come to that middle zone for them.
Oh, Hunter Johnson, a compact swing down the middle. Biggest lead of the game for Atlanta. A timeout called promptly for Orlando. What has shifted?
I think one of the biggest things in terms of just even that last rally is understanding who your opponents are. So if you have a new partnership like Daescu and his partner right now, Zane Navratil, they're testing that middle, causing some issues, but then also even that last point alone, Zane Navratil is one of the best at backing off the kitchen line, taking a drop step and speeding up the ball. If you know that and are well prepared, that counter can be really dangerous for you. Big swing coming on, another big swing, and that is the put away that you just saw from Hunter Johnson. Great job on the scouting report and the execution.
Yeah. And Pablo Tellez, let's talk a little bit more about him, the lefty. He was in the third round, which is surprising to think about now with all the success he's had lately, especially on the PPA Tour. 28 years old, based out of Southwest Florida. And he has been so much fun to watch. A national champion in tennis, college tennis back in the day. He was a steal in the third round, that's for sure.
Well, it's wild. You think back to what he did in season one, winning back-to-back titles for the Breakers in both Mesa and Daytona. He was originally the 5th pick at the challenger level through season one, so he's made the jump that he deserves.
Hunter Johnson holding his own on the left.
No doubt about it. Impressed with the hand speed right here from Hunter Johnson. Look at this. He sees the speed up. He hit a forehand at extension and then still able to switch that to the backhand side.
Pablo Tellez says to Andre Daescu, trouble brewing now for Orlando. And Atlanta has more than found their stride. They are steamrolling through this matchup up 5.
Well, and what's shocking a little bit here, Michelle, is the fact that we already had one timeout. Now, this is the end change, right? But the conversation about the middle should have already taken place. There was an issue, yet again, through the middle, the forehand side. So this will be interesting. Do they switch sides? Do they try to find something different? Will be the question for Navratil as well as Daescu. If they don't, I would love to see Daescu start to get a little bit more aggressive. Start taking that ball off the left foot of Zane Navratil so that there's no more questions, because right now the indecisiveness is what's killing them.
Yeah, it's interesting. New partnerships come together across the board for all teams, and who seems to find their stride first are the teams that more often than not have success. Hunter Johnson deserves some credit here too. He was promoted to the premier level as well, played a little bit on the premier level back in Daytona. He was playing double duty, subbed in for the LA Mad Drops. help them advance. And another missed return for Andre Daescu, looking at the court like there's a problem over there.
12-6.
Michelle, that was funny.
That's exactly what it is.
I think maybe there was a problem with the ball. That could have been it.
Look back like something happened. DVD on what that was, but we will.
Usually we look at the paddle, you know, whenever you make an error. Same thing.
Oh, Hunter Johnson had the shot he wanted, couldn't execute. Much needed point for the squeeze.
But again, look at this, both working around to find their forehands. This is why, to your point you talked about with Ben Johns, that righty-lefty is so dangerous.
Oh, a nice shot from Tejas. It seems like a routine dink for Navratil. Wonder what's going on his side.
It's tough. He hasn't seen a lot of the ball, right? So that's part of it, is kind of getting a little bit iced out. But I would also say if you've got two forehands kind of spreading the court, you could potentially have a valley through the middle. So I would love to see Daescu use his length, get in there, step through the middle, and especially if they continue to dink that direction, test the middle on the other side. I know there's two forehands, but if you create space on the exterior, you could find some success. And that's the ball I'm talking about. That is exactly the ball. So push Hunter Johnson out wide. It caused him to have to take another step and a half to cover middle. Instead, they go body on him, but that's the difference. Daescu sliding and getting aggressive.
Okay, a little bit of a run here for the squeeze. Still a 4-point lead for Atlanta. But you think one more goes the direction of Orlando, you start to feel like you're in trouble. For Zane Navratil.
Pablo Tejas has some more words the other direction. He's not shy to talk. I like that. I think you can get a little chippy out there, get in your opponent's head.
That's
I'm
right.
all for it, to be honest.
Especially in Major League Pickleball. That's what it's all about. Started early at 10 a.m. You had that one. Miami and Brooklyn.
Yeah, there were some words shared. Yesterday, we even saw a little bit of pushing and shoving out on one of our grandstand courts. Couldn't believe my eyes.
Oh, what an attack from Zane Navratil. There's a little chirp sesh.
In order to give it back, you got to come up with shots like that. So Zane's going to start chipping his way back in.
Pablo Tejas, he lives for that chatter. I think he's going to rise to the occasion.
12-15.
Oh, what once was a 14-7 lead for Atlanta now has a much drastically different looking scoreline.
The ability to drive is such a momentum gainer, so watch for them if Zane gets another shot to go for it.
Uh-oh. Okay. Fifth lob. What is happening? Oh, 7 overheads to get them to go away. Orlando finally finds a way to get the point.
It looked like a warm-up drill, Michelle. Are you kidding me? It's like, all right, time to warm up your overheads in tennis. You know what I'm talking about? Send a couple up there. I think he's good and warm. Well, because you saw it exactly there. It's so hard to put the ball away in pickleball from an overhead standpoint, especially one that is high enough. You hit down, it's hard to create angles if it's deep enough in the court.
But why keep lobbing when you can try and hit that reset for Atlanta?
Well, I think
I understand a couple in a row if you're jammed, but,
yeah.
but there were a few in there I felt like a reset could have happened. And now we're tied up 15 apiece. That's a big point for Atlanta. Now what's the mentality? 16-15 looks a lot different than 14-17.
Well, I'll be curious to see where
14-7 rather. Sorry.
No, it's all good. I'll be curious to see where Zane sends this ball. We really haven't seen much of the shake and bake from the bouncers like I somewhat anticipated. They've been a little more calculated on their approach in.
Oh, Hunter Johnson on the run, put all his money on that shot.
He did, but he trusted his drop. You cannot make this shake and bake on your own making without trusting the first contact because you're already on the move. You have to continue to chase that ball.
17-15.
Zane Navratil really coming alive here in the late stages of this game, and it looks like whose toe is in the middle? It's both of theirs currently.
16-17.
Who wants to be the alpha here, Michelle? Right now, it's Zane Navratil.
It absolutely is. Navratil has amplified his game here late in game 2. He was quiet to start. You're exactly right.
17-17.
Now he's the one sliding middle.
Pablo Tellez with a hefty angle, back on top by 1.
Well, and that's the difference, right, in terms of those overheads. Instead of creating pace and trying to smash that ball into the interior of the court, you want to create angles and get that ball to the outside.
What a shot, Andre Descu. Buries it into the back corner pocket.
And this is what you want from Descu. Use that length, reach in. Most people cannot speed that ball up out of the air.
18-18.
Oh. And doink.
19.
Have another look. Oh, Zane Navratil, are you okay? Hopefully no concussion there. We've seen some problems.
No doubt Zane's got his head in the game.
19-18.
Backhands in the middle for Atlanta. Descu finds the opening and takes advantage of the switch.
Yeah, that's tough. Again, we talk about some of the nuances, understanding the game and playing at this level. That's one of the biggest. If there's a switch, what does your game plan look like? How does it evolve? For a partnership that's had experience together, they know exactly where to go. But in this situation, you kind of have to trust your partner to make the right decision.
19-19.
19 all. Couldn't ask for a better game. What a find, Zane Navratil down the middle.
And again, look at this. This is where you create opportunities. Pablo still shifting back. That's exactly what I'm talking about. When they work to those forehands, nice job by Zane sliding and then finding the ball right through the middle.
Game point for the Orlando Squeeze. Zane Navratil will look to finish it here. Win by 2, win on your serve. No freeze. And that's the winning point for Orlando, who pulled a comeback to make it tied, and then they stole it at the end. What'd you see?
I mean, I'm really impressed with the way they figured this out. We had the conversation twice. They had to figure out what to do with the middle. One of them had to start becoming the aggressor. In the late stages, it was all about Zane Navratil. His ability to come in, attack the middle. As Anna Bright's having a little fun. She's pretty stoked right now. Now up 2-0, but very impressed with Zane and his ability to create opportunity, really becoming the aggressive force.
Wow, they came back down 7. It was 14-7. Zane Navratil and Andre Deescu pulled one heck of a comeback, and they are with Dominic Catalano to explain what exactly just happened on championship court, Dom.
All right, Zane, let me start with you. Your women come out, give you a 1-0 lead. Do you play a little more loose and free there? Because you guys did jump out early.
Absolutely. They always get up 1-0.
Simple and easy from Zane. And then Andre, playing next to Zane, he's playing very free. You keep the ball and play nicely. How has that been so far today?
Oh, it's been great. You know, we went through a little slump there in the middle of the game, but we both just hung in there, went over the top of the hill there, started playing a lot better, started playing a lot looser, and just so happy to be competing alongside him and getting this W for the team.
All right, Orlando Squeeze go up 2-0, looking for one more victory to go 2-0 on the day. We'll have our next mixed double match here on championship court at MLP Atlanta.
into it.
The all-new Prius. Toyota. Let's go places.
And I said, Saturday? No one's here. Right? Are you getting this? So if he wants the invoice...
Water doesn't have to be boring. Turn it up with Cirkul. With over 40 delicious flavors and a dial that controls your intensity, Cirkul starts a party for your taste buds. No sugar, no calories, and no artificial flavors. Just good times. Cirkul. It's your water, your way. Try Cirkul at drinkcirkul.com.
Back on championship court time now for our mixed doubles portion of the match. Atlanta is in a 2-game hole. So when it comes to the coin toss, Orlando won it. They chose to react in this situation when it came to mixed doubles. And so what do you do if you're Atlanta? You put out the duo you feel most confident in winning. Seems like they have a 1A and 1B, though, with Paris Todd and Hunter Johnson and Pablo Tejas and Simone Jargim.
That's a fair assessment. No doubt.
Paris and Hunter play on the APP Tour quite a bit together. They win gold a lot. Anna Bright and Andre Deescu coming together newly for Major League Pickleball. And a missed return from Anna Bright.
You know, we always talk about some of the challenges with this format. One of the big challenges is taking a game off, not having a ton of warm-up time. So just a little loose error to get started.
Point one.
I think we're getting a ball change here after the first two.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And it's also important to note, Michelle, just as we mentioned about the heat, definitely about 10 degrees hotter. That means the playing style is going to get a little bit different to maybe start to slow down a bit. Drives are going to come off your paddle just a hair slower as that ball gets a little warmed up.
A 1-all start.
Not in. 1-1.
And interesting too, you're going to see a lot of the forehand rolls coming from both Paris Todd as well as Anna Bright. Paris Todd's got one of the best in the game, creates a lot of action. Some of the best firefights too if you're going cross court. Anna Bright, that's a big time swing as she continues to close in after each one of those consecutive shots. I feel like there was a missed opportunity there for Daescu. Just a little bit of a dink popped up. You see him kind of trail that right foot back as he drop steps. Again, to dink a ball. Even if he's not attacking, taking that ball out of the air and reducing the time is dangerous. This is just the opposite side. Watch Hunter Johnson as he reaches over, creates a little confusion through the middle, but Daescu, nice cleanup with the forehand. I think that ball is good for the Atlanta Bouncers. Check this out. Hunter Johnson from the top floor right here. I'm also impressed he didn't end up with a kitchen violation. Oftentimes when you're jumping back like that, foot will slip forward. And that's the Paris Todd you need. Somebody crashing in, creating momentum, and more importantly, creating a little bit of chaos. They need the energy right now on the side of the Bouncers.
And that's a nice shot from Anna Bright, right on the backhand side of Hunter Johnson.
Yeah, and I love it. She goes a little bit more middle, forces Johnson to go slide for the third shot.
That's a close call from the serve just a moment ago. Right on the line. No margin of error.
6-4.
That's a great location for Hunter Johnson coming across. He's been pretty solid in terms of his lateral movement here, but watch this. Opens up the forehand and pulls that back to the forehand side. Anna Bright a little bit shaded towards the center.
Daescu with some extension. A man you can lob or pop up to for this reason.
Yeah, and it's tough. Paris Todd trying to go over the left shoulder, which is a nice idea, but at the same time, you're still talking about someone that's got a decent amount of height on him.
Just decent. Amazonian-like. What an angle and a response from Hunter Johnson. A must-win situation for Atlanta to stay alive. Down 2 games. Everything resting on the shoulders of Paris Todd and Hunter Johnson. Down 1.
6-7.
From Hunter Johnson, tie game.
Yeah, and again, a little bit calculated here. Impressed by Hunter Johnson, works this backhand roll. The biggest and most important aspect of that is not pace, but more so location. Getting that ball to drop down to the knees, it creates an additional pop-up the opposite direction.
Paris Todd with a rip down the line on Daescu.
And the ability for Johnson to come across is what's freeing up Paris Todd right now to really open up that 2-hand backhand. Because she has such confidence in him in the middle to cover, she really is able to slide and create problems.
Paris Todd with an electrifying play. Have another look.
Oh man, this is the Paris Todd you know and you love. The ATP all the way into the corner. Not many people can create that much shape wrapping that around the post.
And a nice drop from Hunter Johnson. Makes it 10-7. Can they protect this lead?
And I didn't want to jinx him here because Hunter Johnson has been lights out in terms of his 3rd shot drop in this matchup.
Oh, what a point.
It's a little over-eager right here for Anna Bright. This is a pretty low ball, and it's also a one-hand backhand roll. We don't often see that from her, so a little bit of an early take.
Really don't.
Got tripped up just a bit. But again, Hunter Johnson, one of the biggest difference makers is his ability to execute from that 3rd shot drop. It has been on fire. He continues to drop cross-court with some topspin to the side of Anna Bright, allowing them to really have a point of advantage up at the kitchen.
Atlanta takes an 11-7 lead, and an end change will come with that as well. They were the first team to 11 with the men's doubles, and Orlando was still able to find a comeback. So how do they stay on top here and not let Orlando come back into this at all?
I think, one, they have to continue to be solid from the baseline in terms of their thirds. They really have not used any sort of drive their direction, so watch for them to continue to still drop and all the way to that right-hand side. I would love to see, yet again, Hunter Johnson continuing to work through the middle as well as freeing up Paris Todd to work that 2-hand backhand. Now, in terms of the opposite side, for Bright and Daescu, well, that's where things get a little bit trickier, right? So I think you have to keep Hunter Johnson a bit more honest. Even if Daescu doesn't attack in terms of volleying the ball back, if he can take the ball out of the air and reduce the amount of time, creating a different pattern is going to be critical right now for those two.
Paris Todd started the speed up.
Hunter Johnson with a little bit of wind works. Working on his lung capacity, Michelle.
What was that?
It's a new form of training.
Some momentum.
But yeah, where is this ball going now? See how Hunter Johnson, the pop-up is created from the ball that's rolled up his line. It backs him off the kitchen and finds an opportunity for the Orlando squeeze.
8-12.
So the pattern I'm starting to see right now is not only are you seeing the dink middle, but as soon as Anna Bright gets a ball out to her forehand side after a middle dink just prior to that, that's where she's looking to attack up the line.
Oh. So far.
About 10 seconds through this, I couldn't believe we were still sitting on the same point. I like to say teamwork makes the dream work. Really impressed, even though they didn't walk away with the point, with the ability for Johnson and Todd to be able to fill the void when need be. There were multiple times they tried to create pressure, maybe off the edge, and next thing you know, both of them kind of filling in. A really solid point from all parties.
The Orlando Squeeze, the comeback kids. Here we are once more. A 5-point gap disappeared. Now pull within 2. If you're talking things over on the side of the Atlanta Bouncers, what are you saying to just stay ahead here?
Well, I think more than anything, in pickleball, points come in bunches. So one, you have to kind of calm down in terms of the mentality, but I also think not necessarily in terms of adjustments for those two. They played a great rally that didn't go their direction. It could have gone either way. So also something to keep in the back of your mind. For the Bouncers, I would love for them to go back to that same exact spot. Can they go to Anna Bright? They're going to have to protect against the speed up the line for Hunter Johnson and Paris Todd. This is where she's going to have to step in maybe a bit more through the middle and really work one of her best shots, which is that two-hand backhand.
Anna Bright sparking some fire on her side as she does so well. Back to serve to Paris Todd.
Come in. 10-12.
Defense from Anna Bright.
Exactly. So we talked about, look at this. This is exactly how we played out. Anna Bright speeds up off the line, comes back for the next shot. The two-hand backhand from Todd. That is 100% chess, not checkers. That's what's crazy is you used to have 1-2 combos, right? But now at this level, you've got to have about a 3, maybe 4-shot combo, and it may even include your partner.
Man, this game has been close.
13-11.
Fans are on the edge of their seats, as are we. What an angle from Hunter Johnson.
That's a really nice play from Hunter Johnson, a pattern we have yet to see. He himself speeds up with the two-hand backhand. Love that shot from Johnson.
14-11.
Hunter Johnson pulls out an incredible angle. What a point.
And as much as he finished that rally, Paris Todd was the all-star in this one. So impressed with her ability to step in, and you're starting to see why she is so impressive on that right side. She can really create great angles, plenty of pace. At times, it almost looks like Paris Todd is hitting the ball like she's angry at it. I don't know. That woman hits the ball harder than most. I've been on the opposite side of her, and I know you have at one point or another. It is terrifying. When you see her wind up like that, I just want to close my eyes and run for the hills.
Yeah, there's a reason she's the first-round draft pick for the Bouncers and a two-time MLP champ. She is so fun to watch. And credit to Hunter Johnson, too. He's hung right in there. They've been battle-tested in this game.
Yeah, and you know what, Michelle, I kind of keep going back to that. We talked about it in the men's doubles matchup. You watch the middle ball, and it's kind of created some issues, even for Daescu. I still want to see him be the aggressor that much more, and I think that's going to be one of the biggest differences for him as he continues to grow in his own game.
Simone Jardim looks unfazed on the sideline. Chet Edwards, their coach, we know him. Works for us sometimes. Pablo Tejas.
Just us, though, Michelle.
Well,
he works for us.
Me and you. Just kidding.
5 minutes, 15-11.
But see, that's a great example right there. He started, in terms of his court position, that became more aggressive, but he's still got to find the contact. He's a little uncomfortable here, which is what creates the pop-up.
For Daescu. Yep. Paris Todd protecting a 5-point lead.
You know, and about 2 points ago, I was sitting here thinking to myself, one of the things we have yet to see is the Paris Todd forehand, because she started to create middle. So if Daescu does have a spot, it's going to be almost as if there's an alley on the right side of Paris Todd.
Down the line, and a beauty. Anna Bright goes inside out on the roll. How'd she do it?
I mean, check out this work from Anna Bright. Comes in. That ball is so tough. It's coming cross body, which means she completely has to redirect, change the direction of the ball back down. Beautiful shot from Anna Bright.
Just back. Paris Todd and Hunter Johnson confirming their call.
Confirming the challenge, confirming the out call.
There will be a challenge.
As the
Anna Bright, her reaction pretty much dictated that immediately, so we'll see how this one unfolds. The call is out. Anna Bright thinks it was in, and we will take a closer look.
Well, they look at this video challenge. You just saw a skill that I think most of the top female pros have, and it's a very hard skill to develop, which is the fact that you can counter on both sides of your body. Oftentimes in mixed, you're only countering on one, and you're set up to counter with your two-hand backhand. But the ability to read here, as you get a look, ooh, that ball does look, that's definitely in. That ball is in.
Yeah, you're right.
Good challenge by Anna Bright. But to continue the thought, the ability to be able to counter on both sides of your body, Annalie Waters does it beautifully. I also think of Etta Wright, somebody else that stays more neutral at times. That it really allows them to, instead of just block a ball back, it allows them to counter more often than not. And that was a great example right there from Anna Bright.
They make it look easy, but it is so fast in the moment, and their ability to do it is impressive.
And especially mixed, more often than not, you have a guy standing in front of you, so there's going to be plenty of speed coming your direction. So oftentimes you try and create opportunities.
The call is overturned. The ball is in.
Call is overturned. The ball is in. That's a crucial momentum swinging point for Orlando this late game.
Yeah, instead of 17-13, it's 14-16. You're so spot on. All of a sudden, a 2-point game.
Play with Orlando serving at 14-16. 15 seconds. Time in. 14-16.
Earns that one back.
Point 17.
Yeah, this ball from Anna Bright. She tries to take a little bit of short hop that ball defensively, sends it right back up in the middle. That's the no-go zone. You always have to be wary of the ball just about shoulder height.
Hunter Johnson, a former tennis pro, saw it there. And a missed roll shot from Anna Bright. She can't believe it. 18-14 is the score now. Atlanta 3 points away from staying alive.
18-14.
I'm pretty sure he had his feet on the left sideline and still found this ball on the forehand.
Great ATP from Anna Bright as well to set it up.
15-18.
3 points down. Daskew will look to climb back in.
It's interesting too, you're not going to get a chance to see it here, but Daskew actually notably has a little bit of a different serve. He kind of walks into him. Most often you'll see everyone set up just like Anna Bright here, either open stance, closed stance.
16-18.
Just have a singular motion, pendulum on the arm.
Wide for time, and just like that, momentum swinging back on the side of Orlando. Up 2 games, nothing to lose, down a point for Atlanta, everything on the line.
17-18.
Oh, let off the hook.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised right now. Anna Bright, kind of just within the last 3 or so points, has found 2 errors that we're not used to seeing from her.
19-17.
I don't mind that take from Hunter. That's actually a really nice move in there. And that's only, again, possible. The Atlanta Bouncers, their third shot has been really solid, not only from Johnson, but even there from Paris Todd.
You have to make that one, though, right?
Yeah, you do.
At this point in the game.
18-19.
Very fair.
Could be 2017. And now it is 19-all Orlando.
You needed Daskew to get big in the middle, and look at it. Right at the right time.
Yeah, he called for it.
19-19.
Just when you think Orlando's ready to go down. The comeback kids roar back. Wow. Cold by Andre Daskew, and that defense just saved the game.
He goes, come on, Cam, give me some love. I'll show you defensively what I got. He hit this from behind his body. That is unbelievable. Superb play from Daskew and Bright.
Game and match point for Anna Bright. Big moment for Atlanta.
20-19.
Ball is long, and the Orlando squeeze came back not once, but 3 times in each game to take the match on the Bouncers. We still have 1 more to go, but what a performance from Anna Bright and Daskew.
The only way to do that that is to have an unwavering belief and also a calmness about their game. There was never a point where you saw panic mode or bad decision making come up for the Orlando Squeeze. That was an outstanding performance from those two, coming all the way back in terms of the victory.
From offense to defense and everything in between, Anna Bright and Andre Dascu stood tall in that matchup as we sent it to Dominic Catalano with the winners.
Wow, the Cardiac Kids, you guys, coming back again, Andre. What's it mean to you to come back like that and finish it off?
Oh, it means the world to me to be able to get the W for the team, make it 3-0 here. We had a pretty slow start. They're obviously a very, very strong team. They played really well. We had a lot of challenges throughout that match, but Anna and I just kept fighting. We kept encouraging each other through the tough moments, and we pulled it off. So super happy to give the team this opportunity, and super excited to be partnering up with Anna.
And Anna, playing next to Andre, he played really big those last 3-4 points. You kept balls in play that were absolutely incredible. What's it like playing next to him?
It's pretty disrespectful, Dom. Andre got big. You kept balls in play. It was decent. No, it was it was a lot of fun out there. I really felt like, even though we kind of came back, then they got a little more separation. But after coming back the first time, we felt like we just needed to stay in it, and we definitely got lucky. But these matches with this scoring format, it comes down to luck. It comes down to making balls in the big moments, and we did that. Thank you again to the cheering section. I was a little tired. I heard some Anna Brights over there. I love that. Let's go, and excited to watch Rachel and Zane, and hopefully they can make this a rout.
All right, Squeeze up 3-0 going into the last and final mixed doubles matchup next here on Championship Court.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob ULTRA, superior light beer.
I just didn't want to look like everybody else. It just didn't suit who I was. It didn't fit my persona. It didn't fit my image. I rep the stuff because I love it. I rep because it's quality, and I like the fact that I look a little fly. It's been huge because it identifies me. I feel like I stand out. People reference me to the shirts all the time. They know me as the guy who wears the flashy shirts, and I'm cool with that.
Well, the Orlando Squeeze already took this one in 3, but we will play a 4th because every game, every point matters when it comes to the knockout rounds and where teams land. And of course, that bye that everybody vies for when it comes to having a chance, punching your ticket straight through to the semis.
Have we seen a team go 4-0 on the day? I don't remember if we did yesterday, even at the challenger level.
I think so, not that I can think of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Most teams have at least got a 3-1 win.
Yep. Orlando did win their earlier match today against Texas, but they did drop a game there, 3-1 scoreline. The opposite scoreline for Atlanta. Dropped that one 3-1 to Bay Area Breakers. So we will see how this 4th one concludes. And if you're Atlanta at this point, down 0-2 in the tournament, putting your second mixed doubles team out there, Makes you wonder what the mentality is at that point. But for Orlando, what does this mean?
For Orlando, you're playing for seeding. That's the biggest element, right? You want to be able to get that first round bye, move on to the semifinals. So there is still something very at stake for the Orlando Squeeze. And for the bouncers, go out and ruin somebody's day. Don't give them that #1 seed. Put that on your shoulders and say it's not going to happen.
1-0.
I like this hand speed from Zane Navratil. And also, look at this. Off the bounce, that is a big difference maker. If you're playing that left side, it's so important to be able to create offense and, more importantly, deception and indecision on the other side. Little I go, you go, we go.
Clean put away from Pablo Tellez.
We haven't seen the offensive lob very often.
No, we
Usually we see it a good amount. I think maybe the rally scoring has a little bit to do with it. Maybe it's a bit of a riskier shot, but I really like when it is utilized. I think it creates a lot of opportunities, especially if you've got somebody that's just so solid up at the kitchen. Not only do they have to work, but it creates, like we saw, the issue in terms of communication.
3-1.
It just appears that the Orlando Squeeze prefer to play with a little bit of excitement. Play from behind. Dig a hole and dig yourself out.
Well, one of the biggest elements, too, through the round robin phase of this is you also want to build confidence and understand that even when your back's against the wall, you can still pick up wins. So the win for the Orlando Squeeze, regardless of if it's 3-1 or 4-0, is going to set them up really nicely through the rest of this tournament.
Oh, just for Pablo Tellez. Had a nice curve to it, though.
2-5.
We've talked about it time and time again throughout the last 2 days of competition. To play at the highest level for mixed doubles, the female has to be able to create offense at the right times. Rohrabacher, her forehand is not only great from a power standpoint, but also right there, nice deception through the middle. You always wonder with somebody maybe coming up that you haven't seen as often in terms of competition is, will their game be figured out, right? Can we figure out the scouting report? How long does it take to adjust to someone's style? The great ones continue to evolve, and that's one right there for Rohrabacher. That's a great evolution. Not only can she attack cross court, but she's got the roll up the line.
Yep. Great player. Competitive spirit. Finish down the line for the lefty, Pablo Tellez.
Seven, 4.
That's a nice shot from Pablo Tellez.
Here we go, Rach. Here we go. And he's also somebody that has been through kind of that evolution, right? We saw him first. We knew he was a great singles player, but he's put the time in to really create multiple tools in terms of being a dangerous right-sider. You know, it's funny, you often see Simone Jardim in a little bit of that posture and position. More often than not, she's getting the ball back from there.
It's so true and so impressive.
Rohrabacher says, enough about my forehand. Check out my backhand. Look at this as she comes crashing in.
She is made for this kind of competition, that's for sure.
You know, what's funny is there are so many players that are really made for competition like this, the major league format. You always think of a Julian Arnold, somebody that feeds off of the energy. They're just those players that step up under the bright lights, or in their case, neon colors.
They can still morph into a team situation. Let's go. It's easier said than done to come together with players you don't normally ever play with and wouldn't probably choose some of the time.
But see, that's what is so different about Zane Navratil. His foot speed is fantastic, really working around, finding the forehand, holding on to it just long enough. Makes you uncomfortable if you're on the opposite side. That's a souvenir for somebody in the stands.
That ball's not coming back. Let's go! Heavy arm of Zane Navratil.
I think they're trying to find this, but I'm not sure why. I think it's squashed.
It's the lucky ball they want. Superstition.
Tough to say.
Why not
Tough
just
to
pick a
say,
new ball?
Zane.
I don't get it. Let's go. That's the one he wants.
You know, everyone's a little different. It feels a little different.
I guess that's true. New ball does feel slightly different than one that's a little bit worn. Rachel Rohrabacher down the line, and we start our fans out here with Major League Pickleball.
Watch out, those young fans could very likely be on the professional tour in just a few short years.
Investment around pickleball. Orlando, finally the first team to 11.
But again, they were trailing. I mean,
yeah, they were.
I wouldn't say it's a great strategy to stick with, Michelle.
Not sustainable.
I don't know if it is sustainable at this point. I don't know. They may be just trying to prove us wrong.
That's true. That's true. Once you get into the knockout rounds, though, would not 10 for 10 recommend that strategy. Anyways, what's going well on the side of Rohrabacher and Zane Navratil, because in a different matchup, they're going to have more on the line. So what are they building on for this repetition as a team? What are their strengths that you're seeing?
I think the biggest thing for them is how offensive they are being, right? They're not on their heels. They're constantly being the enforcer, the attacker, whether it's not, and this is the nice thing, it's coming from both of them, whether it's Rohrabacher coming in and crashing in terms of the Zane Navratil third.
Coming up next here on Championship Court, the semifinal challenger level between the SoCal Hard Eights and the Seattle Pioneers. Adam Stone's team, he'll be jumping into the booth instead of taking over his general manager duties. We appreciate that.
He's going to be coaching from the booth.
He's not going to be biased at all.
No, not at all. Maybe, Adam, if you need to, you can just, share a few words with me. I'll run over to the sidelines and let him know. Big game of telephone.
Just kidding. He's a professional.
I wonder if that's the word he'd use to describe himself. Of course, he's sitting here right next to us, so it's more fun to give him a hard time now.
This return for Rohrabacher and Atlanta climbing back in. Simone Jardim, one of the greatest legends of the game of pickleball. It's players like her that we all have to thank for bringing the sport to where it is. Often gets lost in the shuffle and the drama and the everything else.
And the new faces. You're very, very right. You know what's funny is I remember hearing a story about Simone that because of how many people she's brought into the sport, where they were discussing playing skinny singles against Simone, and they realized just how much you could utilize the Ernie because of the match they played in skinny singles against Simone. One of the great educators in the game, not just at the professional level amongst those of her peers, but also as a teaching instructor, one of the greats.
Hey, nice and simple. Keep it simple. That's good. Let's go.
14-12.
This is where you have to pounce if you're a bouncer. And I don't mean, sorry, it's a little rough right there, but it's true. You've had a couple errors on the side of the Orlando squeeze from a baseline.
Just barely missed.
But what a shot from Simone. Just continued to slide, find the forehand, drop that paddle face.
14-14.
Unbelievable hands from both of these teams. Check out the defense. Simone Jardim showing you why she's one of the best. That transition zone, just ball after ball sent back. Just that slight miscontact gives the point to the squeeze.
Big put away in the middle for Pablo Tejas.
Point 15.
Let's go right here.
$15-15.
Oh, what a gift from Jardim.
That is an unimaginable point for Simone Jardim. She's out there running wind sprints from left to right. Looked like a conditioning drill. They even found themselves in, we'll call it an I formation.
What a play. Have another look.
I mean, this save from Simone, chasing that all the way, finds a whipping forehand. Amazing as she comes crashing back down. Again, I'm really impressed. Simone just doing her best in terms of really covering some court. Zane Navratil's kind of throwing the book at her right now. Not my favorite decision, but you know, sometimes a little step back, two-hand speed up off the bounce.
17-16.
This is what's tough when you have the lefty, Simone playing the left side alongside the lefty. Ladies going head to head, and right now she's got to go cross court with Zane, who's winning that battle.
17-17.
This return won't help.
18-17. Side out. Point 18.
That's a beautiful flick right there from Pablo Tejas.
Point
And a second shot from Tellez as he comes crashing down.
$19-18.
And honestly, you gotta go hats off for the effort from Pablo Tellez right there. I mean, another just full send save from those two.
19-19.
But Zane Navratil starting to get a little chippy right here. Check out this shot from Zane as that comes popping up, leaves a little extra scream on the court.
Orlando squeeze with game point.
20-19.
Oh, what a challenge from Georgine down the line on Rohrabacher.
20-20.
I was just going to say complimentary pickleball from those two. I like the way Simone gets after it, but then Tellez comes in for a little bit of support in the close.
Game point for the Bouncers.
21-20.
Chance to close it out. Orlando stays alive. 21 all.
21-21.
A little bit of a risky play there. They went the third shot and fifth shot drive. It's kind of like a unicorn in the game of pickleball. It's a beautiful thing to see, but also can
rarely executed.
Exactly. Rarely seen.
Okay, Orlando squeeze. They save 2 game points.
$22-22.
Swings to Orlando.
Zane Navratil, nice job changing the direction of that, attacking back down the line at Tellez.
23-22. Point, 23.
Who wants to end it?
$23-23.
Rachel Rohrabacher wanted the reset. Game point back to the Bouncers.
How about the reset from Simone in the middle of that play, just off of her right toe?
$24-23.
Did you see that from Zane? He goes, whoops.
Tellez puts his hands on his hip, says, really?
Watch this.
24-24.
That's the funniest response I've seen to a left cord. Like he meant to do it. Jardim almost had it. What a shot from Rohrabacher to have the wherewithal to bring it back to the corner.
But see, that's one of the toughest balls to have to come back. Kind of that extended dink to the left side of her body. She's got to come back and cover middle, or Pablo Tejas has to come across.
Rachel Rohrabacher ends the game, and the match was already sealed. Orlando takes this one, a perfect 4-0 sweep. I believe it's the first one we've had all tournament long. What a performance across the board. Comebacks, drama, we had everything in the mix.
And also Rachel Rohrabacher showing up big time.
I like this team.
I do too. And I like the roar at the end. It was rather fitting.
Yes. Group A is looking to be like Orlando will be a front runner. They will take on Bay Area tomorrow. To be determined on the exact schedule when that will be. Group B is the one that is fascinatingly interesting. We got all top 3 draft picks in the same group. But for now, we focus back on Group A. Orlando, a perfect 2-0 on the day. A 4-0 sweep on Atlanta. Dominic Catalano is with the winners.
Anna Bright, I will start with you. How good does that feel? Clean sweep, 4-0 right there.
It feels great. You know, out here, every match counts when it comes to tiebreakers. It's hard not to have a little bit of a let-up when you're up 3-0, but super happy, you know, Rachel and Zane were able to get it done, because this could very well matter for us if we put ourselves in a position to get a bye. So it's great. Let's go squeeze.
And then Rachel, again, the newbie to this team right now, coming in, how important is it for you guys to go 2-0 sitting pretty going into tomorrow?
Oh, super important. I mean, I don't really know too much, so Anna's been helping me out a little bit, but I mean, I know I definitely want to buy, so yeah.
All right, Orlando Squeeze go 4-0 in this match, 2-0 on the day. Congratulations to them. We'll have a challenger semifinal next here on Championship Court. Major League Pickleball by Margaritaville. Brought to you by Michelob ULTRA. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Fromuth Pickleball, where Major League Pickleball players and fans get their gear. Sunday Swagger, polos and personality, the official polo of Major League Pickleball. And Dulce Vida Tequila, tequila pure and simple.